Y'all, twitch.tv/Hamin Media Group, youtube.com/Ben Hamin Infidels. Tonight's the night I'm going to get in some shit, head over to Twitch and murder some motherfuckers real quick. Breaking fools off if I have to because they blast you, trying to ban my channel. Now I've got to get past you infidels. That's right. Fuck Twitch. Fuck their moderators. Fuck censorship in 2021. It's time to tear these son of a bitches down. Shout out to the big homie Brodie Lee, the big rig himself. We're going to ride or die for you, homie, here at Hamin Media Group. Yalla. Man, back dolo solo at it here for New Year's Eve. I cannot wait to just be done with these motherfuckers, man. I'm so sick of these soy boy cuck little stooges thinking that they can run the world on free media and who they can say has a voice and who doesn't. I really wish nothing but the worst for their entire families in 2021. Like, just the worst people on the planet as far as I'm concerned, if that's what your fucking job is to moderate like that. So I'm not happy this morning, unfortunately, coming off of a beautiful memorial. They really ruined it for me and Hamin Media Group, and I hold them fully accountable. You know, nothing to do anything on our end. This Digital Millennium Copyright Act, they can stick it right in their ass and light it on fire. They're just the worst humans in America right now. These czars who think that they're the ones who are in control of good taste or anything along those lines, they need to be stopped. And they need to be, in almost a Hitlerian way, eliminated from this planet, bro. But I see you guys checking in already here at twitch.tv/Hamin Media Group. Jay Hal, Gam Wolfers, Classified Chappie on YouTube. 14 strong here already. Unfortunately, Stevie's not with us here this morning, but we're back with plenty of headlines. A lot from last night's AEW show, you guys. Appreciate you, Real Jake One with the bits already here at Hamin Media Group. Pretty fucking awesome, man. They set up these new pools for us to interact in and build a community in. And just like I say, money fucks up everything and absolute power corrupts absolutely. What starts as a great idea and a new frontier in the face of the adpocalypse of YouTube was Twitch. We all move over here. The money starts flowing. And then, of course, YouTube changes their fucking song and dance, but they all still want control. Every time I upload a YouTube video, it instantly gets ad suitability flagged. So that's going to cut down to my first 24 hours of watch time of making any money whatsoever because of their stupid, pathetic, non-creator little judicial system. Then some asshole who I hope doesn't watch wrestling or doesn't even like wrestling has to watch a complete locker room Impact Attack like the Fuse show to then go, this show is suitable for ad revenue and it takes 36 hours. Meanwhile, I lost 70% of my ad rev because of their pathetic censorship. And now this shit with Twitch is just the exact same thing. So there'll be another platform that rises up that people will switch over and we'll have to stay in these polluted welfare oceans of Twitch and YouTube. You know, I never thought I'd be the one to be ringing the bell for Trump's fucking news organization. But if there's a czar who's going to open things up and say, I don't care what you're talking about, 3D printed guns to fucking, Black Lives Matter to white power rallies, I don't give a shit. It's open fucking communication and censorship. And we choose what to watch, not them. They don't get that shit, man. So I really just want to see their legs buckled and crushed, to be honest with you. Amazon can own Twitch all they want, man. Doesn't change the fact of what they're fucking doing and the censorship that's happening in 2021, dude. Y'all bang that button and like, folks. Appreciate that over there at YouTube. I have seen YouTube numbers going up. I'm trying to put up more content there, but like I said, it's just a constant every day for a media creator to be slapped in the face by a nameless, faceless algorithm only to have to go to some judge that they hired who's a millennial who's never done anything in their goddamn life. And they're the ones who get to say, you shall pass or you can't. Just absolutely brutal, dude. And I love to see him run over by an 18-wheeler. You know, just line them all up in the middle of the road and just right over the fucking top of them, big rig style, bro. That's what it needs to be, because they're just out of control. And I don't want to start out hot, but it's too late for that, I guess. But last night, that not hurt me, but it upset me. Of all the things we stream here that could get flagged, during my buddy's fucking memorial in the second match, that's when they thought it was the fucking right time, dude. I see other people, it's not Steve McQueen's in the chat. He's talking about Ustream, BitChute, banned video. We've talked about it, but now is the time when it's going to start those. It's going to take 2-3 years, because Twitch is only going to get worse with their Nazi fucking socialist bullshit, dude. They really are. And it gets me to the level of V for Vendetta when he, like this dude, we talked last night on the Horseman of this whatever false flag attack on Christmas of this fucking guy supposedly blowing up an RV, which I don't believe any of that. But even if that was the basic story, I'm almost getting where he's coming from. Like, they've pushed it this far, and that's going to be a mild strike compared to what comes in the years ahead of how they're pushing this shit, dude. Can I do this type of show on Realm? I could, but I appreciate being like, that's me folding. That's me having to go behind a paywall. That's me having to fucking say, you know what, you won in the open discourse of the world where we should be able to speak and watch what we want to freely. You pushed me out, and you pushed me behind a paywall. I'm not going to let them win like that. Like, I want to snap kick them right in the fucking teeth. Every single one of them, bro. So the fact of like, I'm taking my ball and going home isn't a win to me, dude. It doesn't, like, I'm about free media, free thought. And that's the huge id for me. And when that gets shut down, it's worse than, like, it's not like, oh, I lost $4 in bit cheers last night. Come on. It's about what I've built and about the free thought. And then they think they can step up and tell you when and where, dude. They got to go. Dr. Ted tried to warn everybody 25 years ago, and we called him crazy. I mean, shout out to Dr. Ted, the man beast. I don't remember him being that, hardcore about it, but shout out. I do. We're working on a website. I got so much to work on, bro, before I even get to a website, Then we're talking web servers and all that kind of shit, dude. Frank Pickle Barrel asks, that's what I do, stand my ground, sometimes to the bitter end, unfortunately. But y'all, not Jargo in the house, Jay Hal in the house this morning, 25 strong here, twitch.tv/Hamin Media Group. Hamin Media Group, you better fucking have the thing queued up, asshole. Group. And obviously YouTube, Ben Hamin channel. So we got the backup to the backup. And even in their little appeal thing, goes, you better not have a backup channel because we'll flag that too, because we've got the IP's address. Oh, go fly and fuck yourself. So, hot as can be, man. Mastodon server, Hamin social. Y'all, the way I run my biz has made me a fan forever. Well, I appreciate that, Frank's Pickle Barrel ass. I mean, obviously we need money and that stuff to live, but as you can see by my cut off sleeves and whatnot, I'm not too worried about stunting and wearing fucking Jack Victor suits on air and shit like that. I'm about free media, open dialogue and open discussion, man. And that they're completely against it. I'm a First Amendment massive supporter, backed by a Second Amendment massive supporter. And right now they've killed our First Amendment rights on two fronts, whether it's freedom of press and freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, to be honest with you. So I don't like asking for donations, man. I feel like, and I appreciate it, Buckshot, because you guys have all been awesome with the bits and subscriptions and all that stuff, man. It's above and beyond, to keep things going for the free platform. But I don't know, that's my own stuff of being like, mealy mouthing for bits and subscriptions and donations. I like the fact that it's a goodwill, good faith type thing, that people know they're getting a quality product for free and that they feel incentivized to support the platform. But they fucking got me hot about it. So I don't like to be the guy of like, you got to subscribe and do the NPR type thing. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, Real Jake One doing the 50 bits. Cheers, Zach. Got that Arab money, man. That's the thing. Yeah, It's not about the money. It's about the freedom, bro. It's about trying to push my voice down, push you guys down from not being able to commune and have open thoughts and discussion because they want to cunt off about a Ware site where we're streaming something from, and they think it's a fucking huge slap in the face of TNT and or whoever the fucking masters are. Like it's really hurt them. They should be happy anybody's even watching their product most of the time. We're doing them a favor having watch along. It's not the other way around. Them losing money on something. It's just unbelievable, bro. These standards they think they can set and the people they've empowered. And I can't wait to go on front page of Twitch probably next week on Russo brand, because I'm going to bury the fuck out of them. And I know their mods are watching. Then I'm going to talk to the moderator guy, and I want the number of the person to talk to at Twitch. And then I'm going to cut a fucking huge promo on them too. You guarantee it, bro. No, my it's indefinitely suspended, Billy Santiago. Indefinitely suspended was what I got for multiple DCMA, Millennium Copyright Acts. So just absolute trash, bro. And I appreciate everybody who is still going at Twitch support. I suggest you do that. I'll say go at Twitch support, at Twitch on Twitter, put in twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman and demand all day long. I don't care if you hit them with 50 tweets today. And demand that the Conspiracy Horseman channel be reinstated, just to put the pressure, because what that's going to do is flood them. They'll be talking about it in their little groups, and then when I come over the top off of a Twitch front page thing, somebody's getting fired. Some little queer deer over there is getting fucking sent to the slaughterhouse. So please put them on blast all week long. The whole until the channel comes back, and we'll see about indefinite suspension. And they tried to pass the heat last night and said because of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, I have to hit their office, and they gave me the phone number. That was wrong. That was a wrong move by them, because they'll be getting promoted too, bro. So, y'all, I didn't get the Impact Attack edited yesterday. I just got bogged down with a ton of work. It was a short Horseman show. Thankfully, I can download it from YouTube with Big Sally and I kicking in, man, talking about the Tennessee bombing, talking about Bitch McConnell and his shitty little payoff, and a act that was put into that fucking 6,000 page bullshit relief act that in 180 days alien disclosure is coming from the Pentagon, the FBI, and the military. So good stuff, man. I'm not sure about lawyers in the house here. I have 2 lawyers, so I should get a hold of Michelle and have her write a nasty gram to sue. And I should fucking probably sue them, threaten to sue for lost revenue daily, you know? So that's they think they're going to do that. They don't know who they're fucking with. I'm a media assassin, bro. The psychopath side of me lives for this shit and hates it at the same time, because I don't really go around trying to make a ton of enemies. But when enemies want to stick their heads up and challenge me, and they have a little bit of power over me, but they don't know what they're doing, I become obsessed with making them kneel before me, kneel before Zod. Like that, and they end up doing it, whether it's BBTV with Russo's YouTube or Twitch before. They always will bend the knee in the end. So we'll see exactly what's going to work out. But that's my heat from last night, and I appreciate all the loyalists of Hamin Media Group hitting up at Twitch support, and just stay on them. I really just want to get as many people fired from there as I possibly can. Yeah, lots of headlines. Obviously last night, a major show. I'm hoping that they're about 1.3 million, you know, with WWE crossover and wrestlers tuning in and tweeting about it. A really, really great show. I don't know, at the end, I'm not going to go in and shit on a memorial show for Brodie. I wondered how you guys feel about it when they brought out -1 and they did the thing with the belt and the boots and had him standing there. Like, to me, that was just a little bit too TV. You know, like, we got to get these shots. I mean, this is a child and his father's gone, and we're doing I don't know. That to me was a little bit too much. You know what I mean? To get these like wrestling stage pictures of his son with a Dark Order mask and then the boots in the ring. And then the go home video was phenomenal, you know. Although I see Khan tweet last night and he goes, I bought the rights to the Tom Waits song. So this, memorial video can live forever. Why is it always I, me, my? It's AEW bought the rights to the Tom Waits song. So this memorial can, I don't know how he's still, even in a guy's passing, it's still got to be I, me, my. I just, dude, it reeks of a kid who's been going to a therapist since he was 5 years old. It's just unreal. I, me, my. So I appreciate him spending the money and doing what they did last night, but there's more. There's just character flaws that can't be ignored, bro. It's crazy, bro. But I don't know how you guys felt about that last scene with the kid. I feel, hold on a sec. I feel, completely, I don't know. I don't say like, I don't even know what the word is to say, not fulfilled or anything like that, but like that they did above and beyond. They went above and beyond. I'm happy. I guess I'm I sound super happy tonight, right? I'm happy that of how much they really did in dedicating a whole show to Brodie, man. Like, regardless of a choice here or there, it was a classy fucking move, and especially in the classless move that WWE did with just putting up one little fucking graphic and all that. And I'm so glad that a lot of workers who got 90-dayed or, future endeavored after WrestleMania came out and just put them on blast. And now there's a story up here that WWE is taping this week memorial things for fucking Brodie because they can't take the heat, man, of how shitty they are. And now they're going to come with a Johnny Come Lately fucking version of it. And it's going to look like they're serving it just because they're bending a knee to the criticism based on their vindictiveness and their pettiness. So now they're going to try and do something too little, too late. And it's going to be for their own edification to try and save face. But really, it's going to expose them as just piles of shit. Great stuff last night to see Rowan show up. I agree. Eric Redbeard, as they wanted to call him. I thought that was good stuff, man, holding the sign up. And just to have Dark Order go over every match, go over strong, and all that was just classy choices, that's how it is. GM Ben, I wish, man, we get some shit straight. I might apply for that lead writer position today. I applied 4 weeks ago and they didn't call, and now it's back up. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat. Y'all feel it? Yeah, man. What else going down in the world today? I know some of you guys are getting your $600 checks there. A couple of my producers already got them. So AEW, or excuse me, even go to Pro Wrestling Tees. I know CM Punk store, Foley store, and now all the AEW shirts that Brodie Lee's family will receive all the proceeds. And they put out some really great Brodie Lee shirts. And I think he broke a record last night as the fastest and most ordered shirt. So it might take a little while, but if you're going to do anything this week, it's not ProWrestlingTees.com/Ben Hamin. It's get that Brodie Lee shirt. If you want to do something with that $600 hush money, whatever the fuck that is, bro. Redbeard Big Rig would have been great, man. I can't buy Punk shirts either, bro. But you can get the Brodie shirt. Why wouldn't you? I'm gonna get one for sure. $600 bills, y'all, coming at you. You might buy a Creatively CR10S. I'd suggest getting the CR10S V2, the Pro V2 version 2. You know, that's a good one. I think Matt Schaffer is thinking about getting one so we can all be frustrated together, K-Bob. Or if you want to go beginner and get in on a little lower level, it's the same machine. It's just a little bit smaller. Build plate is the Ender 3 Pro, both by Creality, but I suggest buying them off of Amazon. There's a couple bullshit sites out there. But the Pro V2 is very nice. I've just got the CR10S, and it's got a lot of early issues when tech was still getting worked out. But people seem to like that Pro V2. It's just over $600, but the Ender 3 is right around $250 now. And it's a nice little machine too, especially if you like doing smalls and things like that. That's what Sal should get to do all his Dungeons and Dragons stuff. But 3D printing, just another thing to frustrate me. So I appreciate that, you guys. As the other computer stalls, as I try to bring up the headlines, let's hope we can get it. I don't need Discord. But shout out to everybody who is in Discord, hanging and banging. I tried to get in there the other night, just posted a Brodie GIF. Interact as much as I can. My hours have just been insane lately, and you guys have seen it. Filled with any other frustration from Russo brand with these stooges and whatnot. But I one of the big news items of the week is, castrating these marks. And we had Bruce Mitchell at PWTorch try and stick his head up. And, I don't know, I don't know if it's the wrong question or the wrong time, of how he went about it, and kind of just thinking he's over and can put it out there, especially during cancel culture time, shows how clueless that he really is to his own, ignorant comments and running his mouth with no credibility. But Bruce Mitchell asked a question about he knows whatever, and why won't AEW tell how Brodie really died, kind of alluding to COVID, even though it says a non-COVID lung disease. Everyone just unloads on him for what a piece of shit he is for doing that. And then PWTorch, cancel culture, boop, you're out of here. The guy has more of a breakdown, starts posting fucking Freebird lyrics and with all these pictures, and then deletes his Twitter account and fucking turns it off. Like a total breakdown of just a mark who's you look at the fucking guy, not to judge a book by his cover, but he fits every fucking To Catch a Predator profile you got going out there, in my opinion. A lot of these fucking guys do. Bixen, who is, and it's Pat androgyny, fucking Meltzer being a closet drooling over fucking the Bucks, Keller, same, like these guys whose names are synonymous with wrestling. Every one of them is a weird little freak show, bro. And it wouldn't take much to expose their dirty secrets to bait them in anything. They're not workers. And that's what happened to Keller. And Mitchell. And I'm not saying I'm glad the guy is gone or what have you, but it's important to point out this is the level of people that you're fucking dealing with who claim to be experts in this shit, who've never trained, who've never taken bump one, who've never booked, who've never really been in a locker room and respected, who claim to be professionals in the source on this type of shit when they're nothing but Mark fanboys who think that they're owed something now that they have some stroke. So be gone. Be gone with you. And I can name a half dozen that should go with you, because you don't really have any reason to be in this business, man. So y'all let's see here. All right, to the sheets we go. WWE reportedly has another gimmick match planned for Randy Orton and the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Shocker. WWE reportedly has plans for a big match between Randy Orton and the Fiend Bray Wyatt at Royal Rumble pay-per-view. There's no word yet on what stipulation will be, but Ringside News reports that this will be another crazy gimmick match between the two Raw superstars. Last night's Raw went off the air with Randy Orton teasing that he was about to drop a match on the gasoline that Alexa Bliss had poured all over and around herself. It was noted that this cliffhanger ending has to do with the next Wyatt versus Orton match, and there's more to come. Orton defeated Fiend in the first ever Firefly Inferno match at TLC earlier this month. And Wyatt's been off TV since then to sell the fire attack, but Bliss has kept the feud going. Yeah, this had to be tough for Bray, obviously, with Brodie's passing, and probably took it as hard as his wife did, I imagine, and I was wondering if Bray was going to start tweeting out of character, but he posted something on Instagram and that's it. But, fuck wrestling. And I get it. That's probably one of his best friends, man. But he is sticking to character before this next match. All that shit with Alexa, I talked about this on Raw and SmackDown Review, shouldn't have happened in the ring at all. And it should have been the other way. Alexa leading him through a labyrinth, only to get him to where X marks the spot and it's surrounded by gasoline. And Alexa is the one that lights the match and drops it. And then you see Randy's fucking face. And then we could have the match in hell if you want, in Dante's Inferno, in a place. But they did it all backwards. They're too stupid to do anything right. And they keep just doing D- work when they had all week long to set up a cinematic scene. Instead, we're getting pedophile dressed Alexa Bliss with a seesaw and a fucking swing set in the ring, dude, instead of, going out and shooting on location. It's just really, really bad. So I don't expect this next payoff to be anything that we're going to be like, ooh, ah. You lit the cocksucker on fire. What else is there to do to him? Come on. Shotgun on a pole match. First guy gets a shotgun, gets to blow a hole in the other guy's chest. Awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, we know the Orton defeated the Fiend. Oh, sorry. Browser's just choking up here with all these headlines. The Stinger. He responds to comments from Bret Hart. Oh, boy, what'd Bret say? Hopefully the same thing I say. AEW star Sting took to Twitter today to respond to praise from another WWE Hall of Famer, Bret Hart. Ugh. The Stinger was responding to the comments the Hitman made during a 2016 episode of his Sharpshooter Show podcast, which were tweeted by a fan this past week. Hart said, Sting was a class guy, just a first-rate guy, great to work with, a real friend, never saw 1 ounce of ego, just a team player all the way. And I always had a lot of respect for him. He really made coming to work fun. Sting responded this week and said the feeling's mutual. Bret Hart, enjoyed working with you. Great finisher. Ugh. My one regret is I never got to see a Stinger cartoon from you. He wrote joking about the Sharpshooter versus the Scorpion Deathlock. I'm glad they get along, but that's one of the reasons why I couldn't stand Sting in WCW, because he was just taking Bret's offense and Ric Flair's offense, and that was that. And he's doing the Ric Flair woo, and he's doing Bret's finish. It was as unoriginal as it possibly could be in a stripped-down welfare version. I'm glad they're boys and they made a lot of money together, but in my diatribes on Sting in the last couple weeks, and like I said, Sting don't give a fuck about me. He's a millionaire, and he's way more known than Ben Hamin is, but just not my flavor of pancake, son. It was all knocked off. I'm all about good artists create, great artists steal and make it their own. His entire career was just steal and go do it. Whether it was from the Ultimate Warrior shit, Flair and Bret shit, the Crow, the Joker, and now a nostalgia of the Crow. None of that shit impresses me much, bro. Really, to be honest with you. But he's a millionaire and he's fucking world known. So good job, you guys. Matt Riddle, the other bro, reportedly signs a new WWE contract. Raw superstar Matt Riddle has reportedly signed his new contract by the Wrestling Observer that Riddle pretty much agreed to terms for a new 3-year contract at $400,000 guaranteed per year, plus $50,000 per show that he works in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Riddle's current contract expires in 2021. Well, I think he undersold himself on the Saudi money. I think he could have got $100K per show. In an update, Fightful Select reports that the new contract details have been verified and that Riddle was made an initial contract offer, but it didn't seem too interested in renewing. However, after the new contract terms were offered to him, Riddle changed his mind and is expected to sign the new contract by the end of 2020. WWE officials were hopeful that Riddle would sign before the calendar roll of 2021, and the word is now that they think they put ink to paper just last week. The original contract expires August 2021, was signed in 2018 when Riddle first came to WWE. The recent report from the Observer also noted that Chairman Vince McMahon doesn't really understand Riddle's bro gimmick, but he loves the vignettes that Riddle is featured in. Vince reportedly finds Riddle's vignettes to be hilarious. Well, our definition of hilarious is fucking far different. Riddle is rumored for an upcoming title shot from WWE U.S. champion Bobby Lashley. There's no word on if the match will take place on an upcoming Raw or the Royal Rumble on January 31st. Well, good for him, signing for $400,000 to $500,000. That ups my price for the lead writer, because if one guy is going to go out and work 10 minutes a week for $400K, and if I'm the head writer and I'm working on 2 shows 7 days a week, that means $700,000 when I apply to this next one. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to do all the Brodie news at the end here. Former WWE star Mike Knox talks his opinion of CM Punk changing after their first match. Former WWE superstar shoebox Mike Knox recently spoke to Sportskeeda with Chris Featherstone. You can check out Chris Featherstone and Vince Russo Monday nights after Raw, where he opened up about working with CM Punk. Knox and Punk were part of the ECW reboot in the mid-2000s. It was awesome working with Punk. I never really got in to work with him before. We've both been bouncing around for a long time, maybe 8 or 10 years before we finally got to meet each other in the ring. We never met. We never played around in the ring or nothing. Knox said he watched Punk's tapes and he admitted that he was not impressed with Punk's work. Ditto. However, he admitted that opinion quickly changed once he got in the ring with Punk, and he became a fan of his right away. Well, are you a fan of working in the main event against the ECW champion? Yeah. I remember the first time that we wrestled, I missed like 2 or 3 planes, and it was just one of those nightmare days. I thought I was never going to get there. I was changing in the car as they were driving me to the arena because the music was on, and he was already out in the ring. I had to jump out of the car and run. Yeah, we ran to the ring and did everything out there. You know what I meant? The lost art of calling it in the ring. Every single step, including the finish. Before, when I saw it was in Deep South, I was kind of like, I saw him on tape, and it was just like, I don't get it. What's the big deal, man? I don't think he's that good. I don't understand why everybody's talking about him. Then I went out there, we did our first match, and I was a fan of his ever since. And, oh, yeah, that's what it is. So I don't know, bro. Like, he's obviously Punk and can work, but I kind of felt the same way at OVW when I would watch him. I'm like, I just don't get it, man. I look at this guy as a comic book nerd from fucking, Chicago, and then I could punch a hole in his chest anytime I fucking wanted to, even though this shit is phony, to like have him keep going over strong in a Bret Hart kind of way. I mean, it worked. He sold a fucking ton of shirts, and the neckbeard AEW pre-fans loved him, so he knows what he's doing. Again, another guy who's made a fuck ton of money who doesn't care about what Ben Hamin has to say. But I'm right with Shoebox Knox on this one. This is weird. Hulk Hogan names the greatest WWE Hall of Famer of all time. Hogan recently participated in a media call to promote the first Raw of 2021, which will be a Legends Night special. That's going to be a ridiculous flop too, like trying to save their rating, bro. I saw rating was 1.77 for Raw, so up 340,000 from their lowest, but still nothing to write home about. India Today provided highlights from the call. Hulkster was asked how he feels when people say he's the greatest WWE legend of all time and who he thinks is the greatest WWE Hall of Famer of all time. He said it's Ric Flair. Hogan also referred to Flair as his hero. Dude, that's your hero? A guy who's had 4 divorces, whose son died from a fucking H overdose, whose daughter gets fucking tons and tons of plastic surgery because of wanting to be accepted by a man, and fucking a guy who's a known alcoholic who probably is broke because he's run up bar tabs in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's your hero? well, I guess the guy whose kid crashes a fucking car and almost kills his best friend, and then Hogan gets caught on tape being racist at jail and then fucks one of his buddy's wives on camera. I guess it could be your hero. I guess. Well, you know, brother, I will gracefully accept and acknowledge that compliment because it means so much, especially coming from my peers to say that. The guy who's my hero, the guy who I think is the greatest wrestler of all time, that's Ric Flair. So I do appreciate the comment, but I have a different opinion on who's the best wrestler and the greatest wrestler of all time. I have to go with Flair. It's in his blood. He laid the groundwork. He raised the bar that no one has really been able to follow as far as work ethic. Oh, how about the fact that Flair also believes that he's Ric Flair and not Richard Fleer, and that he can't face himself as a real man and turn it off? These are not hero and top guy qualities of what it takes to be a fucking real man, dude. These are not that, bro. The heroin overdose is irrelevant, says Dirty Pox. I disagree. If your father's on the road and you're a lackluster father and you don't have control over your house and your son and whatnot, and you can't go off the road to get your family in order, and that's what happens, I think that's highly relevant, bro. I think that's highly relevant. And tragic as well. So, you know, like these guys that we put the fucking hand in the ear and the woo and all that shit that's the cute stuff on camera have more massive flaws behind the scenes. And you want to know why? Because most baby faces are like top baby faces are complete fucking assholes and douchebags in real life. I mean, not all of them. I know a lot of babies I got a lot of love for, and even those guys who influenced my life. But usually it's the biggest heels on camera who are the biggest sweethearts backstage and have their lives wired the right way. These other guys are just searching and searching for a pat on the back, man. And another pat on the back is Ric Flair says that it's not even arguable anymore that Shawn Michaels is the greatest worker ever. Here we go. Another guy, a guy who fucking cut throats for no reason, who starved people out, who had massive addictions, and fucking then he can wipe it all away by going fucking, I'm a born again Christian, and fucking he gets a pass on that. And now all the asshole things you did before are wiped away. Then we start over again and the same fucking patterns rear their head, man. Like, welcome to professional wrestling. Two-time Hall of Famer Ric Flair recently spoke to WWE UK to promote last night's Raw Legends Night. When asked to pick the greatest in-ring performer in pro wrestling history, Ric Flair named Shawn Michaels without hesitation. It's not even arguable anymore. Shawn is the greatest worker in the history of the business. I think everybody would have to give that to him. Nature Boy went on to thank HBK for giving me a memorable retirement match at WrestleMania 24. He carried me in my farewell retirement match, no matter how many people want to think I was holding up my end of it. I was trying to get through it, recalled Flair. At that point in my career, I didn't have the self-confidence that I needed to rise to the occasion, and he made it look like I did. I've looked back and actually had time the past couple of years to watch some of Shawn Michaels' matches and that he had while I was in WCW. And Shawn is just a class act. Oh, yeah? He's a class act, huh? Okay. Is that when they were getting together talking about how they're going to starve people out? Go watch the Shane Douglas shoot on that. How they're going to fucking get to guys who aren't even a threat to them. These are not characteristics of great men. But they all respect each other, and they all think each other are the best. Y'all, come on. Oh, man. TGV, it's 1:11 a.m. in the morning there. Holy cow. Appreciate you. You got to give HBK props for his Jamaica Sunny Screwfest weekend back when Sunny was hot. Yeah, well, props to that, man. Eric Rowan, who we saw last night on AEW and a great run-in, he recently spoke about what his final pitch was during his WWE career as he tried to create something new for himself. He said, yeah, I wanted a singles win in a championship match. It doesn't have to be the Universal Championship, Heavyweight Championship. It could have been Intercontinental, could have been the U.S. Championship, or it could have been the last pitch I had before I was let go. I pitched, and I'm telling you this, I wrote this down. I have proof of it. Sent it to a writer. I pitched the fact that the spider had died. It was my last ditch effort to after they refused everything, have me just completely shut down, go to TV every week. And when I finally do, people will come up and say, what's wrong? I just start beating the crap out of random people until a person of authority, well, they finally got an authority figure, I guess, says, you can't do this. This is wrestling. You touch one more person, you're going to get fired or whatever. And this is before I got fired, obviously. I shouldn't have used that word for him, but my pitch was like, last week I would go and I would beat the crap out of whoever had I think it was Riddle Moss at the time. He had the 24/7 championship. I'd beat the crap out of him, but then behind me comes a ref and I just put my foot on him, 1, 2, 3. And then as the guy comes up to me, he says, what are you doing? I would just hold the belt up and go, you know what I mean? I would just hold the belt up. You know what I mean? I can do this every week kind of thing, leave. And for every week, I just keep doing it until the guy had no choice, but a babyface would come and try and compete against me. They would keep losing until they challenged me to a fight that has the rules for the 24/7 title. And then the babyface would win. And then that would at least continue some sort of storyline development with me. That's a pretty shitty fucking story. He goes, I'll never forget it because I saved the email. They said they had big plans for Riddick Moss. And then a week later, I think Rob Gronkowski won it. Welcome to professional wrestling. His pitch, I wouldn't have put that over either. Wrestling headlines make you cry? Well, imagine you're me, bro. So, the spider thing was a total fucking weird thing. You can go back and listen to our Raw SmackDown reviews. I think we had 4 or 5 really great ideas, far superior to that one, in order to get it over. But dude, from the Wyatt family to the Bludgeon Brothers to the fucking hit and run, possible look-alike fucking forklift driver homicide of Roman Reigns, to a spider in a cage that was biting people's faces off, and then to you're fired. Like, dude, this is the best effort of Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon and Paul Heyman. That's when people go, they're geniuses. Look at that and tell me that's genius. You got a guy that looks like that, and that's what you're going to do with him, bro. I like that, Dan Brez. If I was a newscaster, I'd be drunk on air by now from sorrow, man. I'm about to pour one here at 9:15 in the morning with all the bullshit, man. Giant guy with a big red beard. That's the fucking character, dude. I agree, bro. Like the guy's massive. It looks unfortunately like he's not really in ring shape right now. Last night seeing him, so I hope they give him a shot, and I hope he gets back in shape, man, because I've only heard good things about Eric Rowan being a nice guy, and being easy to get along with. So he does look badass, and I got to put his beard over. It's just a little bit longer than mine, but when it's red, it sticks out, man, big time. But hopefully he's going to canyouhandlebar.com and getting his beard oil there, man. Oh, that's more Brodie. Sasha Banks transforms into Ruby Riott. What? New Year's resolutions and Royal Rumble comic book themed? SmackDown Women's Champ Sasha Banks posted a series of Instagrams showing off a really cool transformation into fellow superstar Ruby Riott. It looks like she'll be starting a makeup and transformation channel into 2021. Holy shit. Below is the official WWE Top 10 Moments video from the WWE's Monday Night Raw. Keith Lee pinned Sheamus to become #1 contender to the WWE Championship. It topped the list. Only a mild surprise given the cliffhanger ending where Randy Orton either did or did not set a woman on fire in the middle of the ring. Keith Lee, the #1 moment, not setting somebody on fire, you guys. Tony Nese joked on Twitter, thinking about changing my gimmick. I think I might start counting my abs from the bottom up instead of starting at the top. Not sure I can handle the pressure this late in my career, though. Well, I'd worry more about coming up with something creative to get on TV instead of counting my abs in reverse. And I can count them right now. 1. It looks like 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view is comic book themed. New graphics promoting Bobby Lashley, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler for the respective men's and women's matches have cartoony looking backgrounds like panels out of a comic book. Great. I mean, Kenny Omega, it worked so good for Kenny Omega on the Impact promo talking about X-Men and fucking Spider-Man 1. That's just what we want. That is just what we want, is more comic book phony bullshit. So let's do it. Oh, comic books. Can we get back to being men? Can we get back to beating the shit out of somebody and not thinking we're these little fairy soy boys that fucking gotta live vicariously through it? Can we be the superheroes? Jesus Christ. Jim Ross, shout out JR, discusses what Sting can bring to AEW. During his latest Grilling with JR podcast, AEW commentator spoke what Sting can bring to the company. The WWE Hall of Famer made a surprise appearance in Winter's Coming event, and since then has been a consistent presence on AEW Dynamite, which is a huge mistake. However, it's still unknown whether or not he will end up actually wrestling for the company, but Jim Ross spoke on what roles he may end up taking during his time with AEW. Let me guess here. What's really going on is Tony Khan reached out, hired Sting to a multiple-year deal. Meanwhile, Dylan Bostic can't get the fucking $120, $240 extra he's owed for doing fucking dark matches, but we'll sign Stinger. He's going to have a variety of roles. I don't know what they are exactly, but they'll be in a creative capacity where he's a character on television. There's a lot of ways to be a character on TV. Said Ross. That's been accepted by the audience nowadays, and that doesn't include wrestling a match every week. Yeah, sure. I mean, sure it does or doesn't, but, leaving last night, it was kind of the low point of the show, just with Jericho and Shivani on mic, so when he comes out, they go, hit Sting, and do a throwback to 1995 when that shit wasn't over with me at that time either. That's all for Khan. That's all for Tony Khan. I can't believe anybody, even AEW supermarks who are indie darlings, love all their indie darlings, will be marking out for hit Sting when they're at home, bro. Like most of them were 2 and 3 years old when that fucking went down. You're trying to do a callback to it, bro. Oh, man. But like I said, what do they give a fuck about what I got to say? They don't. But multiple year deal, definitely 6, probably 7 figures, 6 or 7 fingers in you, 7 figures to do what? To turn the lights on and off, to hit a fake snow thing so we can hear it's Sting. Like, bro, just wasted money. And now that the door's open for Stinger, here comes Hogan, here comes Flair. And Bischoff is probably already on the TNT side, kayfabing, and they're all just looking at this guy, licking their lips for the next paycheck, bro. And Steiner, you're going to get them all. You're going to get them all by 2022 on another run. Just how it is. Nobody learns anything from the past. Not a fucking thing. Okay, all the rest looks to be Brodie news. No, one more. Nick Aldis, he gives an update on his NWA contract status, which is interesting because I know there's only one more day on a lot of them. Zicky Dice, who has been doing a run in here, and I wasn't really familiar with him. I'm not trying to insult him, until I saw him in his vignettes on NWA when Billy was giving him kind of the shine there for a couple weeks. But I don't know if it's bad blood or not, but Zicky Dice keeps putting out, only 1-2 days left till he's a free agent. And I imagine there has to be some contract snafu between Billy Corgan and Aldis. I don't know if there's heat, and Zicky. I don't know if there's heat or anything. It seems like Zicky's anxious to get out of there. Zicky Dice and Swingman would be great together on Impact. Boy, that would be fucking something special. NWA's World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis will be staying with the organization. Aldis recently appeared on Conan's K100 podcast and revealed the NWA boss Billy Corgan picked up the option in Aldis's contract to keep him with the promotion for at least another year. Said Billy Corgan picked up my option with NWA, so like I said, I had an option on my contract with Billy. He picked it up, and like I said, I would not have opened up any discussions with anyone without talking to. This is keeping it 100. I just care about that paper. That's it. And Billy's been very loyal to me and I to him. And I truly believe in what we're doing with the product. And I wouldn't walk away from it because we haven't accomplished even scratched the surface of what we could accomplish. Aldis also gave an update on NWA Power Series. The show has been on hiatus since earlier in the year due to COVID-19 pandemic. Also, Aldis noted that NWA Power, the flagship show of the promotion, will be back in 2021. The reality is that Primetime Live is not an NWA product. NWA Power, that's our flagship, dude, and that's coming back in 2021. Well, good. NWA talents have been featured on United Wrestling Network, UWN Primetime Live shows, but until recently, they announced that they are on hiatus until 2021 sometime. Aldis made it clear that Primetime Live is not an NWA product. Aldis comments came after NWA World Women's Champion Serena Deeb stated earlier this month that NWA will probably, start back up again with power tapings in early 2021, perhaps as soon as January. So that's cool. I talked to her yesterday. She didn't tell me that, stooge. But yeah, man, I'm glad. I like the NWA Power stuff. The commentary was great. The old set was great, even though I didn't like it in the 80s. I liked it in the 2020s. Excuse me. I had to punch out and cough for a minute. Yeah. And, Nick has helped build this from the ground up. And although I still don't see the model for success, maybe I'm kayfabed on something, but I think they were doing at most like 200,000 views on YouTube, which would equate to about, let's see, $200 in fucking revenue. You know what I mean? It'd be 2,000. It'd be closer to 2,000, but I don't see how that's enough to foot the bill. You know what I mean? So what is the plan going forward with NWA to be a positive, money making and not just a organization and not just a Billy being a money mark trying to stay in this wrestling thing. Now, granted, I think he got 1.8 million from Anthem. So maybe he's just got that $2 million to play with as his wrestling money. Must be nice. And once that runs out, then he's done with his hobby. But what are you guys thinking? What's the way to get them on something? They have to go, in my opinion, to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and get that deal in place before they come back, because otherwise, what do you have really? You've already got a good seasoned foundation to show them and say, hey, if you signed us and put us on, we can produce this for you every week. And it's old and it's old school and it's different. Yeah, Serena Deeb is going to Alaska. Frank's Pickle Barrel ass up there. She that's got to be a fun show to go work with Kevin Matthews and Pat Buck's Wrestle Pro organization. I believe Hawkins is a owner in there too. But NWA has to ink a deal with somebody. And I've said this before. Why wouldn't Billy just get with Netflix and be like, dude, I'll do one acoustic, small private show for you, and I'll do one concert, and you don't have to, I won't charge you anything, but you're going to buy NWA and put it on for the next 5 years. Even 3 years. 3 years is a fair deal with a 2-year extension with more money offered in the last 2 years, KM is a beast, man. He worked his ass off to get in really great shape too. So he's a blue chip athlete, bro. Because it doesn't work that way, Ben, says TGV. I disagree. I believe when you're at the level of a Billy Corgan and you offer 2 Smashing Pumpkins concerts as quid pro quo to get your shit on Netflix, that they would fucking jump too for that, bro. I think they absolutely would bite on that. If I was a network exec and I had that opportunity, That's the way. That's definitely like, not only can we get this wrestling show, we can get 2 awesome concert series. And what's that cost Billy to do anything like that? Nothing, you know. Oh, but shout out Nick Aldis again. Now where's the men in the industry? There's a man in the industry, bro. There's a man. Just bought a beautiful new home too, and I heard he used Conrad's mortgage gimmick. So shout out that way. But I'm sure as a worker, he also fucking worked it to his advantage, which I hope he did, man. But him and Mickey and their little one looks like a beautiful house for them to grow up in, and I wouldn't doubt if there's a little brother or sister on the way soon, because that's a big family house. And when you got that, why wouldn't you want to? And Mickey, they're not doing shit with her the right way. They didn't. They'll bring her back for Legends Night here. But even then, she was like, I don't consider myself a legend, but she is, you know. So we'll see. But house was beautiful. I don't think all this will be at the Rumble. He said he just signed for a whole nother year. So I don't think they're going to allow that. All right. All the rest, I think we're going home with Brodie Lee Memorial News, man. So we'll start with the heater one. Brian Myers, critical of WWE's tribute to Brodie Lee on Monday Night Raw. He says, no 10-bell salute, Myers tweeted, no video package. This man was beloved by his peers, and we're all grieving hard. This isn't right. And I saw my buddy Rick Victor retweet that, and he said, one more final middle finger on the way out, you know, and that's the truth. And when you're hearing it from Brian Myers, who was with the company for 14 years, and you're hearing it from Rick Victor, who was with him for 10 years, it's pretty blatant of how they are doing their shit, bro, and vindictive and whatnot. And now they're going to put together video packages afterwards because Woods and Bray and all them probably fucking came down on them. It's too little too late, lip service wise. Now it's just going along to get along to try and save face instead of being a true human being like they should have been at the beginning of that show, and put together a 5-minute video package based off the one they had already done on his life and fucking shown respect outside of wrestling. They don't have any respect, bro. They really don't. And to not have it done 3 weeks off of your best friend, Pat Patterson, dying, and not having any empathy for a young man with a family who's tragically taken, who was on your roster for 10 years, and just to do one little lip service thing, it shows such a lack of character. It really does. And people just need to be punched square in the fucking mouth for it. That's the only way people are going to learn. Many fans were understandably upset that WWE chose not to put together a video package celebrating Brodie's career, nor did they even start the evening with a moment of silence. Shitbags. Straight up shitbags. Brodie Lee's wife comments. I will go home on that. Current TNT belt retired. Brodie Jr. named champion for life in honor of his father. Yeah, this is the moment where it was nice, but I don't know if this was too much, man. With that, giving the kid, calling him -1 or -1, and the wife coming down with the boots and all this stuff. They had done so much, and Khan had done a really great job. I got to tip my hat to him, making the entire show about Brodie and the Dark Order, and giving everybody their moment to grieve. What that show did wasn't just for the fans and wasn't just for his family. Your locker room needs to heal in a loss like that. And if you only do a little bit, people are going to sit with it. They did almost too much last night, but I'm telling you, that's going to help their entire locker room get by this and sleep with it a little bit easier. So I really do have to fucking tip my hat to the amount that Khan and Cody and the Bucks, Omega, Hangman, anybody else I might be missing on the vice president squad. It was classy. It was very fucking classy, man. From the opening, whatnot. There's just a couple things with the little kid, because I know him. I met him. He punched me in the balls twice at a party. You know, there might have been a little bit too much interaction with him because it looks good on camera, but I think we lost the fact that this is a little kid who doesn't really understand what's going on. He's in the middle of a tragic situation, and we're doing these limelight things, you know what I mean, for future tape, I guess, you know, future stills. And it kind of, you could say it was too much, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because all of it was a great celebration. That's nitpicky, and I don't want to be that cocksucker to be the guy talking down about that stuff, man. It was awesome when the kid whacked fucking MJF with the kendo stick. We'll talk about that. I'm sure Silvio popped huge for that. We'll talk about that on Light the Fuse hopefully later today. But I was like, that kid he's a stiff little son of a bitch. I'm sure that kendo stick shot was there because when he almost dropped me to my fucking knees with a right hook to the balls, it was there. And Brodie was getting him riled up, pull him aside like he was going to fucking talk shit. Don't be hitting wrestlers that Brodie would tell him, go hit this guy, go hit that guy. So the whole locker room was there. I think Cheech got punched in the balls about 15 times that night. So I'll take my double shot from -1, but he's already up on me. Who knows? Maybe -1 will fucking be the guy who retires me someday. That'd be cool. Him and Cal Hero can fucking tag together. I'm definitely getting a nut shot retribution on somebody. WWE reportedly filmed Brodie Lee tributes prior to Raw this week. As previously reported, WWE received some flack this week for their handling of the tragic and unexpected death of Brodie Lee. The company ran a simple graphic at the start of Monday Night Raw, leading to Impact Wrestling star Brian Myers speaking up on the lack of video package in the 10-bell salute. However, per new report via Mike Johnson, via Pat Buck, or Paul Hamin, WWE actually did film content and talent paying tribute to the former IC champ before Raw, according to numerous talents and sources who reached out. It's still unknown how/when the filmed content will be used. Whatever. Too little, too late. You're going to look like Johnny Come-Latelys. Missed it. Brodie Lee t-shirt becomes the highest selling pro wrestling t-shirt of 2020. Wow, in one day. Good job, you guys. Despite the fact that his tribute shirt has just been released, Brodie Lee is officially the highest selling shirt for PWT. Pro Wrestling Tees. Pro Wrestling Tees revealed the news on social media, providing just how popular the shirts have been, with the wrestling world coming together to celebrate the life of Brodie Lee. The company revealed that Orange Cassidy did have the highest selling shirt, but just 4 hours after being released, Brodie has broken that record. Very cool shirt. Brodie Lee, exalted in heaven. You know, something I might not believe in, but there was another cool shirt I saw with the octopus gimmick by the Hydra behind him and a memorial shirt. I like that one a little bit better, but you guys making this type of stuff happen is awesome. I'm definitely ordering mine, as well as a new Serena shirt too. So shout out to Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm glad this shit is in place for this kind of stuff. So if I go, even though I'm not to the level of Brodie Lee, I know you guys will reach out and take care of the wives, and that they do the same thing for me, kind of. So I really, not like that this goes on because our friend has passed away, but I like that people step up and do the right thing when there's an opportunity to, man. So great shit. Interesting to see AEW's photos last night with Becky Lynch, Bray, and other top stars of Brodie, says Nathaniel Patton. Yeah, I think that's from Brodie's Instagram. So there's no way fucking WWE can come over the top on them and try and pull some bullshit, which they probably, believe me, that conversation happened. But it was great to see him with Seth. There was even 1 or 2 2CW pictures, even things like of him with his kids, and he's sitting on that leather couch, like, not trying to my this, but when Brodie had that party and we were talking for like 20 minutes, like that's right where we're sitting, he and I having a conversation. So my last memories of him face to face were kind of in that room, in his den, in his wrestling room with all his posters around it. They didn't show that of, all the Wyatts and pay-per-view stuff that he got to do. But, that a couple of those shots flashed me back to our last moments together. So I was thankful for it in that montage. I thought the music was fucking great. The Tom Waits, even though Brodie's entrance is for the Indies is run on for a long time, sooner or later he's going to strike you down, Johnny Cash. That's Brodie 100%, but the Tom Waits thing was fucking great too, man. So I tip my hat to Khan, bro. He really went all in, pun intended, to honor this guy in a way we've never seen a tragic loss honored since, unfortunately, Chris Benoit, and then the truth comes out, right? Or it doesn't come out, I guess, if you listen to Conspiracy Horseman shows. But then that Benoit show got buried. I don't think you'll have that problem here with Brodie Lee at all. But again, just a great way to get people to come together across as fans and for their locker room to begin the healing process. I think that was almost more important than anything else in the show. I thought Moxley's eulogy, or Moxley's opening promo was fucking perfect. Really owning the reality of what's kind of going on. And it was serious and as much of a best friend and a man should deliver it. Jericho's, all of them were great. Nobody's like, oh, your eulogy sucked. But like the Moxley one, you could feel the realness in that. You know what I mean? Great stuff to help people heal, man. And that's an interesting thing that we don't, thankfully, unfortunately, we don't get to see in wrestling a lot, but this set a standard for the quality of breaking kayfabe to honor a brother, especially. And that's the thing. A couple people said it too, is the magic of Brodie, and you guys probably haven't interacted or don't know him. But when you're when you're in a crowd of people or a locker room or whatever, Brodie always makes you feel like it's a one-on-one experience. When he's talking to you, you have your moment with him. And it's not like he's giving you a moment. It's just like he makes you feel like it's just about you two guys and everybody else is out here on the peripheral. And everybody who interacts with him like that. And he's just a big kid, man. He was just a big kid, even though he looks like the man's man and whatnot. He's always having fun, joking, getting the last words in, stirring the shit. I watch him do it with Excite, with 2CW, and just fucking getting shots in on Johnny Moose, just to pop Josh and things like that. It's always the little things that are on the one-to-one connection with Brodie. So that was truly the magic of the man, I think. And that's probably, why he cares so much about his kids, and I'm sure he made tons of magical moments, especially for them. You saw him lifting a -1 up in the ring many times, seeing the kid at ringside many times, and then he's got a little one who isn't even going to realize where daddy's gone, and that breaks my heart, man. But hopefully the thing is, and what Jericho said, we're going to take care of your family. And dude, I'm sure Jericho and all the guys with the money and Khan and whatnot, I'm sure that Brodie's family is set up to not want for anything, but there's something bigger than that. If this kid, the -1's going to become a wrestler. I mean, he's only 8 years old now or whatever, but that Rochester crew of Colin Delaney, Nick Ando, Cheech, Pepper Parks, Butcher Blade, whatever, Cherry Bomb, although me and 2CW guys, anytime we have the chance to interact with that kid going forward, and especially when he gets in his teen years and starts training a little bit more, are going to be uncles to that fucking kid. And he's going to be protected coming up through and whatnot. So I just hope that the next, and I say it's easy to say this, the next 5 to 6 years of this kid's life, 8 years, as he grows into a teenager and a young man, they're not going to be easy with his dad not around. And I hope that we can fill that void as men to be a role model for him, so he's not, and that we put his dad over as much as possible to make him into the legacy that he deserves to be. And that this kid can feel that the love for his dad is always going to be around him, So, Allah, man. WWE superstars react to AEW Lee's Brodie Lee's tribute show. Florida man Big E says, "What a perfect tribute show to a beautiful man. I'm just so glad I got to be friends with someone so many loved." I thought that was great too when Cody called him a beautiful man. I thought, those are words that you don't think about, but it truly was to watch him interact and have all that beautiful thing. Trish Stratus says, well done to all involved at AEW, RIP Brodie Lee. Daniel Bryan says, that was beautiful. I cried numerous times. Thank you so much for honoring a man we loved, and thank you for honoring his family in such a special way. I love you, Brodie, and we'll all miss you. Austin Creed says, that was fantastic. Fantastic way to say goodbye. Owens says, that was wonderful. Great stuff. And it almost makes me sad to think that there could be fallout from those guys posting that shit from vindictive old fucking WWE guys, bro. Like that's even in there. It would have been awesome if those guys really wanted to do it. If Big E and them showed up to be at ringside last night, even with a mask on, that would have made things like, wow, you know, like if those guys would have just showed up from Florida and WWE, that would have been fucking even crazier, wouldn't it? Amanda Huber shuts down ugly, unnecessary controversy surrounding her late husband's death. You guys saw this. She says, I won't read the whole thing. You give everything to watch a dream and chase that dream. If it pays off, the world becomes everything. It gives you both everything you've ever dreamed of. You go on to build your dream life with another perfect little boy, 2 crazy dogs, and 5 cats. They get an opportunity to really bet on themselves, and you watch them shine like never before. Life is so good. Then suddenly one day that person gets sick. Each day they get sicker and sicker. You know how much they value their privacy, so you ask those helping you to keep it quiet out of respect for them. You watch helplessly as they get worse and worse. COVID test after COVID test after COVID test coming back negative. You almost pray for a positive one because it would be some kind of answer, but you never get one, and suddenly they're gone. You have to try and figure out how to imagine your future now. Then you read a journalist demanding transparency, and it insinuates you're hiding something, that it's some type of cover-up, so something more so sinister, that you aren't serving his memory best by not offering up information that you're still trying to process, as if his death was a public health hazard. It wasn't. It was a tragedy. There's no cover-up. There's no conspiracy. There's no series of unfortunate events that could have ended in what your world is, ended in your world being crushed. What kind of position does that put you in when you're trying to grieve and people practically expect you to post medical records because since they were a public figure, they're entitled to all the knowledge of what happened? It wasn't COVID. There's no shame in dying from COVID, but it's not what it was. You have no answers and you're just left there. Can you fucking imagine that? Brodie Lee's wife, Amanda Huber, took to Instagram this morning to promote the Celebration of Life edition of AEW Dynamite for her husband. Lee passed away Saturday night at the age of 41 from a COVID-19 lung issue. President Tony Khan changed plans for tonight's Dynamite episode on TNT and booked a tribute show using the favorite wrestlers of Brody Jr. on tag teams for one night only. Oh, the kid booked the show? I like that. Imagine Amanda plugged tonight's show on Instagram and said it will be emotional and overwhelming in the most beautiful way possible. And it was. I don't need to keep rehashing that, man. Well, tonight on TNT, the incredible team of All Elite Wrestling is paying tribute to Brodie Lee. The entire AEW show from top to bottom is thought out with so much love and care. It's going to be emotional and overwhelming. It's the most beautiful way possible. I urge you to tune in and celebrate the most amazing person I've ever had the privilege of loving, she wrote. And that is your wrestling headlines today, infidels. They did a great job. They did a great job last night. And I've been through these tragedies, and that until Twitch fucked me over and got me super hot at killing what should have been a community moment for Hamin Media Group to come together and gain some reciprocity too. That's here nor there. That's the I me my shit that I don't want to focus on. I want to focus on the fact that Brodie Lee is somebody I'd like to strive to be, you know. Sure, he's made it and he's been on camera, and that's probably not going to happen for me at age 43. But you know, we live vicariously through him because we knew he was a star. And he's one of us. He's an upstate New York fucking smart ass guy who worked all the fucking indies, who everybody we worked with who might never get a shot is all better for having him in the locker room and being a big brother, a good brother, and just somebody who cared about this business and loved it. And then when there was time to turn around and share it with us when he was on top, he wasn't superstar like some guys do and forget about you. He was always the same Rochester big rig, hanging with the boys type dude. And when he got over, he shared that magic with us as well. And he never lost that kind of infatuation that we all have from age 6 to 10 years old with wrestling when it's larger than life. And with those big fucking stilts that he's got, he was a larger than life motherfucker. And obviously a soft spot in my heart because we're both big, ugly, bearded son of a bitches, so I think we always had that connection on there. And, all that shit that went down. Yeah. Twitch gave us a discus lariat, and I was glad to see Jake with the short arm twisting clothesline last night. That popped me. I like the twisting. Dude, I got to say Murder Hawk coming out as 2CW Big Rig Brodie Lee was my favorite part of the show, dude. I thought Murder Hawk fucking was awesome last night, and I sent him a DM thanking him for that, dude. That was probably my biggest mark out of the show last night was Murder Hawk, because it felt you could feel Brodie in that. And they used the discus clothesline in a falsie, the big boots. Dr. Britt doing the big rig wink at the end. That was a little bit hokey, but whatever. Hokey's fine, man. It's all for them to have their moments. It's not about ratings and that kind of shit. That's gonna help her get by something that she got to have her part too. So no matter if it's fucking tongue in cheek or making you cry or making you laugh, man, it's about evoking emotion and memory and prolonging the legacy of Brodie Lee. And I'm glad he got a 10-year run at the top, maybe not to be the WWE champ he should have been, and that they wasted it, or that he came in and saved a terrible creative situation. If you remember in the beginning of the Dark Order, is it Raven? Is it Matt Hardy? Is it, I guess it'll be Brodie Lee doing a Vince McMahon impersonation. But even on being the elite with the throwing of the papers, or, you know why he wanted to do that? Because he's boys with fucking Player Uno and Player Dos. They talked about it last night, how they worked all the indies up through Canada. And of course, in 2CW, absolutely, that's what they're referring to. I'm surprised they didn't reference 2CW directly last night. That it's for them, and it's for those moments with those guys. So I was appreciative of guys getting his offense in, and I hope they incorporate that. And I put out on Twitter, I think every indie show, especially in the Northeast, throwing papers in somebody's face should become a new spot on every show. I don't care if it's management or a main event. Like, once a show, we should fucking work in throwing papers into somebody's face as the Brodie Lee spot where they're fed up. I think that would be an excellent, excellent way to honor his memory going forward. To do something fun like that. And people will be looking for it on every indie show, who can come up with innovative ways to do it. And then even in a battle royal, it'll get out of control where everybody pulls out papers and you can even do a double knockout spot in a comedy match with guys throwing papers in each other's faces at the same time. And they both sell and knock out that way, bro. Like, I would love to see some shindy fucking comedy spot like that, raise its head, and preserve his legacy that way, man. But from Ben Hamin, man, shout out to you, John Huber, Brodie Lee, Big Rig, Luke Harper. You're fucking boss, bro. And we definitely will ride or die for you to the end, bro. Appreciate the bits, everybody cheering here at Hamin Media Group, sticking with us and find us. We're still 46 strong, you guys. They can't fucking fade the kid. They can't stop us. They can't stop free media. They can't stop independent thought, no matter how many cuck socialism fucking bullshit moderators they put in power at these places like Twitch and YouTube. Time vindicates me over and over and over again, whether it's with wrestling ratings or pushing for against censorship. That type of tyranny never wins. It holds power for a little amount of time, but when it falls so hard. It always comes crashing down and it hurts inside. And I can't wait for them to hurt. you know, and we won't stop, can't stop. That's right, J Hal, Fudge 420, Big Evil Pop, Strangers Alley. Let me go back through here because I appreciate you all. Nathaniel Patton, Adam with No Agenda, Big Evil Pops. You know, Frank's always in the goddamn house, man. Daniel Price, our own tables, others, and chairs, doing great work, you guys, for that 4-hour end of the year Hamin Media Spectacular. The Contrarians here, not Steve McQueen, been in the house all morning long as well. If I'm missing anybody, it's just because I haven't scrolled up and seen your name. Disco El Swayze was in here looking for some early transgender love this morning. Hopefully he finds it. But or she, whatever pronoun the fuck you're using these days. Oh, man. But I got plenty to do. My man Brando, local, appreciate you, brother. All my love, man. And hopefully as we close out here on New Year's Eve in the most fucked up year of our existence, you know, since 9/11. Really, when they took our civil liberties on a false flag. Here we are 20 years later to the date, almost going into a prison planet state. Yeah, Matt Schaffer's in the house. There's still time to vote for the Hammies, you guys, up until midnight tonight. So hop over on Hamin Media Group or Hamin Media Discussion Group on Facebook. You can get the Survey Monkey link and go vote for your favorite personalities, favorite shows. And we're going to do are we doing it January 1st? Or are we doing it the 2nd? I'm not sure yet. I have to check with RBV, but we're going to do a special Hammies presentation. So hopefully you guys tune in for that and you vote. I know voting was over 400 votes a couple days ago, man. So go vote right now. As Matt says, he's got the link there in the chat rooms here on he's on YouTube. But y'all, anything else we got business-wise to clear up? I appreciated the Broasters coffee. Kickback money just came, so Russo wanted me to thank you guys for that, for buying all that Broasters coffee for the holidays. And if you don't have it for 2021 for the next lockdown, they got the 5-pound bag. Use the code BRO5LB, and you can save about $8 or $9 on that as well if you just want to test it out and get the 14-ounce bag. I was able to make it through this show this morning, running my mouth solo on the Dolo. People wanting their own thing. How about the Wrestling Buddies? Wrestling Buddies reached out to me saying, do you want some? So I got to wait, unfortunately, for some more cash to come in. But now who knows if there'll be any Twitch money or not, so I can spend $220 out of pocket to get 10 Wrestling Buddies made and then fucking turn around and try and ship them. Sell them for $29 a piece, only to make my money back for the setup costs. So then I can order 10 more at $150 a piece. And then I get to go ship them all out and fucking try and send them to you guys and make zero money and waste my time, because people don't want to just use the model of pro wrestling tees where they could make them and ship them themselves and then just pay me my overhead off of what has to be. But instead I get to order them, have them sent here, repackage them, ship them individually, and probably take a loss of $1.30 on each of them just so I can try and have my own merch out there. Welcome to being an independent professional wrestler trying to market yourself. People just don't know business. They just don't know business, man. So yeah, y'all, it's Hamin Media Group. You guys got it locked down here. hackerhamin.podbean.com, Hamin Media Group on YouTube and .podbean.com. We signed up for a couple new apps through Podbean to get us out there. So hopefully we see numbers going up on Listen and a couple other podcasting apps that we're hooked up to now. But again, all my appreciation, because even though it's been the shits in 2021, Hamin Media Group was set up for success to have daily content for you guys while it's on lockdown for free. And we've seen that every day progressively go up, and you guys being great interactors and sharing all of our stuff are the reasons why our numbers keep growing at a rate that's manageable, thankfully, as we try and announce big announcements coming for Russo brand tomorrow and more Patreon stuff that we're all working on behind the scenes, guys. So appreciate you, infidels. I salute you and making it through 2020. Let's take these $600 checks, double and triple down, make sure our lives are improving, and we'll get the rest of that money, and hopefully 2021 will be the rise up against this tyranny, this censorship, this false world that they're trying to create for us. And we can cut through all the bullshit and have a better life this year together, infidels. So y'all, I'm going to sign off. I got to edit the Impact Attack. I got to edit this, and then I'll be back probably around 1 or 2 if I can with the Chris Silvio and MSG today to recap this entire Brodie Lee show again, which I won't mind talking about it at all. So it's a digital prison planet, infidels. Hamin Media Group's the warden, and we're going to regulate on them all. So y'all